Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rahahakodash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akhawaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan Nawah, and just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is an article in the U.S. Sun. It says Americans will get $5,000 payout for having a baby under new Trump plan to boost birth rate. It goes up after every birth. So you just had Russia. They was talking shit about Russia when they was trying to get these little Edomites over there, $1,500 or whatever to have babies or whatever. And a lot of these countries are doing it. All these European countries, Scotland, wherever the NATO nations reside, EU, just so-called white people in general, they all have some type of program or some type of incentive or plan together to try and boost the birth rates of their race because they're dying off quicker than they're being born. And that goes for a lot of these nations because, you got China, Japan, the birth rate is pretty much down in a lot of nations. Even amongst us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But, we do have more children than they have, overall. But, Jake just having kids just irresponsibly, man. And the kids turning out to be monsters, man. They not turning out to be productive. So let me just grab this quick scripture. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So you have to look into how Esau gets down. That's why the scriptures talks about blessed is the man that read, because when you read, and you should be praying before you read, so you can get full understanding on the scriptures, and you can understand your enemy. Because the way that the Esau gets down, this is everything he does. It has something at the end that's gonna be like a trick to it. It sounds good, it looks good, and then you fuck around and just like how Eve, she accepted the apple, you know what I'm saying? Or not the apple, so to speak. So lock you for me saying that because it's not an apple involved in the scriptures. I'm talking about when basically this philosophy that Esau pushes that, in the Bible, Eve bit into an apple and that's nowhere in the scriptures. But what happened was he spit that game to her overall, and she took on to those, his philosophies and ideologies and, his way of life and doing things. That's another lesson if, that's a little deeper. But that's overall what that goes into. And our women have really taken hold of this man's lifestyle. They've really taken hold of the way that he lives, and they've taken hold of his way of destroying us as men. So any of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if you fall for getting some chick pregnant because she's telling you that she's going to give you $2,500 of the money when the baby comes through, which is stupid as hell. But really, what this is all about is about Esau. He's trying to increase his people. He don't care nothing about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women. Right? When he was all up in arms against that Roe versus Wade and all that other little stuff like that, he wasn't considering you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women. He was worried about the white race. But see, they try and package it and make it seem as if, they care about everybody. But really, in reality, in the backdrop, we know who this guy is talking about, man. And the scriptures talks about how the Lord would make them small amongst the heathen. Matter of fact, let me see. Yeah, they going out like some suckers right about now. And it's perfect. This dude is perfect, man, for these end time prophecies, man. He's actually really, we're in the midst of prophecies with this guy. Let me start from the top. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. Well, it's only one chapter. It says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God, concerning Edom, which that's the biblical name for the so-called white race today. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle, which that's already in the process of happening, man. All these nations hate Esau. Overall, the Babylonians here in the Americas, but they hate Esau in general. But mainly the top on the list as far as the Edomites are these fucking Americans, man. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See? In the New Living Translation, it says, the Lord says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be greatly despised. And that's what's happening, man. Because you have to realize, too, let's get Galatia 6 and 7. When this man was doing all that destruction to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all that, the test that they was doing on us, all that, you know what I'm saying, that underhanded shit that they was doing, even with the foods right now, the food, the water, the air quality, you know, all that shit has to play in, you know, fertility rates and stuff like that, man, and you know, men. The hell is that? What's a lock here? But anyway, it's good. The damn alarm is going off. Anyway, but this man, he's you know, he's got the men's sperm rate down, you know, the sperm count down, you know, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that there's no nutrition in the foods. You know, things that could, you know, it's, you know, men are out here in their damn 20s, need a damn pill to get their rod up. Cheap ass liquors, cheap ass food, cheap. I mean, it's just the way that he, especially amongst us as a people, he has most definitely tried out everything that he could to basically eradicate us as a race of people. That's going off into that Psalms chapter 83. Esau, Edom being the top enemy of the Lord that tried to diminish us as being a nation, man. But this is Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So they're just reaping what they've sown. You've sown destruction and discord in the earth. You know, you've tried to kill off a whole race of people. Now your ass dying off and everybody's supposed to feel sad for you. That fentanyl kicking their asses. That's the reason why Trump is out here so up in arms about talking about tariff wars and shit between Canada and Mexico and China, because fentanyl is killing the you know, these young little Edomites here. As if these Edomites are not going to find a way to get high, man. These Edomites, they're going to find a way to get high. You're not going back to when you had the crispy clean so-called white person, you know what I'm saying, you know, as a family. And it's crazy with this article too, but let me grab one more to prove that, you know, the Lord, he deals with nations of people. Actually, we can get that in, let's get this Daniel 4 and 17 real quick. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the bases of men. So he has set Esau up, a base people, a lowly people, which basically goes off to sottish, man, like stupid. They're just stupid as hell. But that shows you the power of the Lord, where he can set up somebody stupid as shit to run the entire globe. And you can see the way that they're running it. It's not prosperous. But they're, you know, but they'll stand on stage and they'll, you know, it's like that they stand there with that stupid ass suit and tie on. Whenever you see a guy in a blue suit, that white shirt, red tie, or a blue tie, they all look the same. They all got the same goddamn outfit on. No beard on their face, standing there lying, smiling, with their fucking hair slicked back with that gel. Hey man, you better know that these people are lying to you. That you know, these people are wicked as hell. And you're supposed to be there claiming that they're the righteous, but you can see their works in the earth shows you the total opposite, man. The Lord said to be fruitful and multiply, but yet you got abortion centers, and that's like an oxymoron. You trying to have people having more babies, and you signing all these executive orders. Why didn't you sign an executive order that shut down all these Planned Parenthoods? Why didn't you shut down? Why didn't you make it a full-fledged motherfucking against the law throughout all 50 states that if we find out your ass had an abortion, we gonna knock your ass off too? You still got clinics. You still got places where people can go to kill these babies, man. So it's like it's counterproductive. Like what are you doing? Well, let me get one more, and I'm gonna jump off into some of this article. Job chapter 39. Is it 39? No, I think it's 34, Salakia. 34 and 29. It says, when he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only. So see, when the Lord, he hides his face, nobody can, just run up on the Lord. If the Lord if he wants to turn his back, he can do just that. But it says it's against, whether it's against a nation or against a man only. So the Lord, he deals with entire nations. So he's cutting Esau ass down to size. And Esau is trying to come up with a way or a plan to try and, go against what the Lord has already set up, and it's not going to work. Because one of the last things they're going to do, he just fronted with the Easter prayer, all that shit. They fronted, they had Easter dinners, and he's talking about how we love God and we need God. Man, come on, bro. This is a wicked ass nation that goes totally against the scriptures, and you're not applying anything that's got to do with the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This motherfucker was out here selling Make America Great Again Bibles, bro, with the Constitution in it, with all those, just hypocrisy at its best, man. That's why that scripture talks about. I mean, this is laughable, though, man. This right here is truly seeing the fall of our enemy in real time. Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee? Like, what are you doing with the Bible? What are you doing with the scriptures? Like, when you think about it, like having children in this place is like pretty much, you pretty much bringing a child straight into hell. Because this man, his whole world is nothing but a hellish condition. And especially for us Israelites. He didn't actually put hell. He's putting hell on his own people right now. Anyway, let's jump off into some of the article. It says new parents could see $5,000 payouts for having a baby as President Donald Trump mulls a plan to boost American birth rates. The Trump administration, now you getting rid of immigrants, right? So that's how we know what this is really about. It's really about his race. Because if you're getting rid of, working immigrants that actually pay taxes, he's trying to make it seem as if, just this one little small minute 1% that's committing crimes got something to do with the other 99%. So you're getting rid of, the immigrants to now all of a sudden want to boost your nation with babies. Crazy, bro. It says the Trump administration is said to be brainstorming ways to convince more women to get married and have children. Well, that's not going to work. Why? Because you've turned the women in this place into complete whores. And they're single mothers, and they're turning their daughters into complete whores, and the cycle continues. This place is too far gone. You see, he's trying to go back to, when the white picket fence, white chick, you know what I'm saying? She had on the nice little clean dress. Her husband would come home, with his suit and tie on, his slippers already at the door. There's a cherry pie smoking in the window, them old black and white movies. No, you ain't going back to that, bro. You can cut it out. That shit's a wrap. You ain't, this is what he's really talking about when he's talking about Make America Great Again. It says one of the president's ideas to incentivize birth is handing out $5,000 baby bonus to moms after they deliver babies. Now I find this interesting too, because why is it just going to the mom and not the dad? Why is it going to the woman and not, isn't that discrimination? The man had, the matter of fact, the baby is his seed. The baby is actually more his than it is hers. But not in this nation. Not in this man's kingdom. It says the plan. It's right there. It's a lock here. Okay, it says the plan also considers. Oh shit. Came out of it. It's a lock here, y'all. It says the plan also considers offering tax credits to married couples with children. Families will get more money back from the government in taxes for each extra kid they have. This means moms will get a bigger payout. See, it's still talking about the mother. So in this nation or in this kingdom, you men are left out, man. This man don't give a fuck about you. It says Trump has long included increasing the birth rate as part of his agenda. He teased the baby bonuses at the Conservative Political Action Conference in 2023 while campaigning for his second term. Says we will support baby booms and we will support baby bonuses for a new baby mom. Salakia, for new baby boom, Trump said at the time. I want a baby boom. Okay, well you know your youngest son Barron, hell, he should be married and be having children right now. You know? I think he's what, like 20 years old? Why he ain't having no kids yet? But see, that's how backwards this place is, man. Because they have the means. They actually have the finances and the means to act. Well, you see Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk pumping them bitches out. Because why? He has the means. He doesn't have to worry about getting up and worrying about rent and, you know, and insurance and whatever the fuck else that goes with having children. He don't have to worry about that. He's set and settled. And he is one that advocates for, having a lot of babies too. Because I think he got like 14, 15 kids right now. Right? Okay, it says the payout and the expanded tax credit would both require Congress to act to go into effect, which could slow down the process. However, other proposals could be put into place more quickly. An idea shared by the Trump aides suggested reserving 30% of scholarships for a government-backed international fellowship called the Fulbright program for applicants who are married with kids. And they already know, you know what I'm saying, who's most least likely to be married with kids. That's the so-called black race, you know, Hispanic, Native American race, you know. Hispanics, they hold on a little bit more, but when it comes to the so-called black, you can cut it out. You know that shit, that shit is at an all-time low as far as so-called black families. And it's all by design from these people, man. And that's the reason why, see, they're reaping what they've sown. These white women, man, these white women don't want to have no, you crazy? They trying to get pulled down by an NBA player and really trying to dupe his ass, you know what I'm saying, into some, a kid so she can stay in his pockets for the rest of his life. But other than that, these white chicks, man, they trying to be black. And they out here twerking and all they trying to do is trying to, we talking about the country cowboy, the cowgirl. She slipping outside of the hillbilly side and trying to come see Jake in the hood, man. I see him rolling through the hood all the time. Like, where the fuck you come from? They trying to get, they trying to be amped. They trying to be, they basically trying to be niggas. That white woman, she's out here gone, man. You ain't getting her back. She's through. That shit over with. Okay, it says, the program would operate in hopes that women would identify they got a proposal where the government would create funded programs to teach women about their menstrual cycles. The program would operate in hopes that women would identify the reasons for their infertility and learn when they're most likely to get pregnant. Well, their infertility got to do with your food, man. Overall, your water, the stress that you put on people, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a stressful kingdom, man. And then social media then ate them all up, man. These women don't want to do, man. You crazy. Motherfuckers getting pregnant. They getting pregnant by mistake. It's not nothing planned about that shit at all these days. Okay, it says the education could be implemented through school sex education programs or adult classes. President Donald Trump is reportedly weighing ideas to encourage women to have more children. Some of the ideas pitched by the Trump aides include, we got the $5,000 for new moms, tax credit for married couples with additional children, 30%. Okay, they got all that. Okay. The push for more babies comes as the U.S. birth rate has dropped since 2007, according to reports by the CDC. Last month, Trump called himself the fertilization president as he spoke about his efforts to expand
in vitro fertilization. In February, he signed an executive order making IVF cheaper and more accessible. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who has a son of her own, well, she should be having more children while she's up there giving all them dumbass speeches. She should be at home getting pumped up every single time she dropped one. Said in a statement that Trump is proudly implementing policies to uplift American families. The president wants America to be a country where all children can safely grow up, yeah, right, and achieve the American dream, yeah, right. As a mother myself, I am proud to work for a president who's taken significant actions to leave a better country for the next generation. Yeah, you can cut it out, man. And these comments are no better. They clowning this guy, man. But this is an ongoing thing, man. I wish I had that chat GPT on this phone, not on my other phone. Anyway, let's see though. Yeah, man, Esau, the Lord is cutting your ass down. You're greatly despised. And this is all a damn trick that he's trying to run with right now. Let me just put in, why are the birth rates? Didn't have to finish it out, but it says, why is the birth rate declining? Birth rates are declining due to a complex mix of social, economic, and cultural factors, including increased access to contraception. Yep, because you know, you can shit get pregnant tonight. You can actually go to a vending machine and get a morning after pill. You know, it says a growing focus on career. Yep. And personal fulfillment and rising costs associated with raising children. And that, you know, these women, they don't want nothing to do with family life no more. They want to go out here and be an influencer. They want to be in the WNBA. They want to be a tennis star. They want to be, you know, the next this or that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want nothing to do with having no damn kids, man. That shit is a wrap. And this guy's stupid as hell thinking that he's going to be able to push that. It's over with. Over with. It says increased contraceptive use. Yeah, people just they out here just, you know, doing it and just just getting rid of it. It says more effective and readily available contraception allows individuals to better control family size, leading to fewer unplanned pregnancies and smaller families. Career and personal fulfillment. Many individuals, particularly women, prioritize career advancement, personal development, and other personal goals, which may lead to delay or choose not to have children. Maybe that's the reason why he's offering the $5,000 to the women instead of the men. It says rising costs. The high cost of raising children, including childcare, education, and housing, can be a significant deterrent, especially for younger generations facing economic pressures. Social change and values. Changing societal attitudes towards family size with a growing acceptance of smaller families and child-free lifestyles also contribute to the decline. Economic instability. Economic uncertainties and challenges such as student debt, gig economy instability, and job insecurity can make it difficult for young people to plan for and afford children. Yeah, most of these motherfuckers, man, these women, they prefer to just go get them a dog. That's it, you know. You can go and get a damn dog, and that's about all they you know, they might get 2 or 3 dogs, 4 dogs, but they ain't trying to deal with no kids, man. Okay, it says increased education and opportunity for women. As women gain greater educational and economic opportunities, they may choose to delay childbearing and have fewer children, allowing them to pursue their careers and personal aspirations. And that's where the fucked upness comes in at, because you have a wicked motherfucker running the kingdom. Esau is wicked as hell, man. This goes totally against the scriptures. These women are out of place, they're out of order, and they shouldn't be in the job place like how they are. That's the reason why it's so much adultery. Because here you go, you'll have your wife, she'll be around a motherfucker, a nigga, 8 hours a day. You don't think he's talking to her and grooming her and saying certain shit to her and you know, next thing you know, they get to passing notes. Next thing you know, they get to meeting up. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of people out here raising kids right now. The ones that, you know, that do have kids. Some motherfuckers raising kids right now don't know that the bitch's co-worker is the father. Because women are slick. Shit, ain't nothing. Hell, you give a bitch 30 minutes, she can slip out and she can get it in, right on lunch break. 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Come back to the job all freshened up. You know what I'm saying? Or not freshened up. Still got, jism on her motherfucker in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? And she'll come right back to work. She'll come right home and, hi, honey. You know what I'm saying? The kids come running and jumping in her arms if she do got some. But she'll come right home and kiss her husband in the mouth, man, after doing the nasty to a co-worker. That's just one basic thing, man. Anyway, it says global crisis. Recent global crises have increased economic and labor market and housing insecurities, particularly among younger people, which can make it more difficult for them to transition into parenthood. Environmental concerns. Some individuals express concerns about the environmental impact of a larger population and may choose to have fewer children or no children as a result. So you listening to the so-called white man talking about the earth is overpopulated. When the Lord said to be fruitful and multiply, you know how big the earth is? It's overpopulated in these concrete jungles they created, probably. This man has situated everybody into one little zone in these fucked up ass cities. But man, when you get on the freeway, you can get on the highway and take a road trip, man, and it's nothing but trees. It's nothing but land. Not designated to nothing but a damn highway running through it. So it's plenty of space for people. Man, it's enough space for everybody to have land, man. Their own farm, their own cattle, their own gardens. You know what I'm saying? But this man, he done cornered the market and capitalized on every goddamn thing, man. He got these bullshit supermarkets in the neighborhoods. And not to mention now, he's cutting down on even the farmers that had farms. Motherfucker killing all the damn chicken, they killing all the damn beef, The fucking fish are popping up on top of the water, all fucked up. You can't even go certain places and fish. They tell you, it be signs up. Don't eat the fish. The water is contaminated. You know what I'm saying? So they done fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the earth is small like how they're saying it is, man. It's just that this guy is in control of shit and he's fucking up everything. So I'm end out there, man. Because we can go, like I said, there's plenty of these countries. Let me see. Because, this is just, why are the birth rates declining? But if you put in, I wish I had that chat GPT because they be kind of going in. But let's just put in, why are white people let's see what it says about them. Because overall, it's really them. Yep, here you go. White birth rates are declining due to a combination of factors, primarily related to the aging of the white population and lower fertility rates compared to other racial groups. See that? This is what Trump is on. Don't think that he's just out here and he loves the nigga woman. Come on, bro. That's why, I brought that scripture out that, talks about we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know how this man gets down. It says the white population is aging faster and has a larger proportion of older adults, leading to fewer births and more deaths. Additionally, fertility rates are generally lower among white women compared to Hispanic and black women. There you have it. So when this guy, he was doing that Roe versus Wade shit, I said it back then. Me speaking as a man, that this guy don't give a fuck about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women. He's doing that for these so-called white women. He's making it harder for the so-called white woman to go and get an abortion, basically, so they can go ahead and have that baby. Because they're just that desperate. They'll rather take the chance of this motherfucker turning out to be a school shooter. But maybe possibly he won't, and he'll grow up, or she'll grow up, you know what I'm saying, and have a child, or 2 children, or 3 children. Don't get me wrong, I see some white women, you know what I'm saying, I've seen, badass kids be in Walmart, they'll have 3 or 4 kids with them, little young stair-steppers. But those are the ones that could actually, kind of, they got a pretty decent income coming in, so to speak. But that's for not every woman don't want that though. It's plenty of them that have the income. There's plenty of them that, but you think they're gonna tear up them little bodies? No, they want to show them bodies on Instagram. They want to show them bodies online. It's rare that you'll have any of them that's rare, man. The percentage is so small for women just in general. Because like I said, so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native American women, if they're having babies, it's overall because they just went out and fucked somebody and just got pregnant. It's not, it's got nothing to do with them being with a man and they have plans to do this, that, and the third in the future and have a life together. No, it don't have nothing to do with that for them. But when it comes to these so-called white women, hey, they be having the means. Some of them, they got the means, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, But you would think that everybody, at least like I said, like somebody like Trump's son, Barron, that guy, man, he should already have 2 or 3 kids. Straight up. And if they were really manly, and while he's selling Make America Great Again Bibles, he would know that he can have multiple women. Hell, you think that little nigga would have about 10 chicks pumped up right now. That's just like this one guy that shot up the supermarket out in New York. Young, you know what I'm saying? And what the so-called white race would consider to be a handsome young white man. He went out there and shot up all those people, Big Mama and them, so-called black women, out there in that supermarket in Buffalo, New York, because he was talking about, what was he saying? What they call it? I can't think of the term, but it's got to do with race. Is it race replacement? It's something like that. So basically what he was all griping about was the so-called white race being replaced and being, I'm like, well shit, your young ass should have been out here fucking some of these white bitches. It's lock you for the language. You should have been pumping up. Instead of you going to jail for life, you could have done pumped up about 50 white girls. You could have done had 50 kids by this time. See? Could have took his ass to a damn sperm bank or something. Hell, they into that crazy shit too. Anyway, though, I'm gonna end out, man. But you know what? Let's read a little bit of this though. It says the aging population. The white population is aging faster with a larger percentage of older individuals and fewer women of childbearing age. This means there are fewer potential mothers contributing to the decline in the birth rates. Lower fertility rates. White women, on average, have fewer children compared to other racial groups, particularly Hispanic and black women. See, and that's Esau and Jacob right there. This is partly due to the factors like educational attainment and career aspirations, which can lead to later childbirth or fewer children overall. Because, yeah, these so-called white women, man, they not having no kids until they hit 40. That's when they really trying to have a kid. And then at that point, they only really having one. If they have 2, it's a surprise. But they go to college, They done wasted all their years getting their head banged against a headboard, and they have a lot of abortions too. And then once they get to, I'm at, my career, we're planning for family, that bullshit. But it's too late in the game. In the meanwhile, by the time, the average so-called black woman, she turns 40 or so, man, she got 6, 7, 8 kids possibly. Okay, it says socioeconomic factors. Economic factors like the high cost of raising children, student debt, and job opportunities for women can also infiltrate the fertility decisions. Yeah, same thing. Increased contraceptive use, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the same old thing, but overall it's a little different for them. But it's that's the Lord, man. He's making us small amongst the heathen, man, and greatly despised. Everything that he tried to do to us is starting to, that shit boomerang back around and slapping them in the fucking face, man. So, yeah, I'm going to end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying with that. Kwame Yasha Allah and the Bubble Ball.